Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English for Beginners. I'm Emma, and I'm very happy you are here with us today.
And I'm Jack. Maybe you are listening at home, on your way to work, while cooking, or while taking a walk. Wherever you are, we hope you can relax and enjoy some easy English with us.
Today, we are talking about something that many English learners think about every day: vocabulary.
More exactly, we're going to talk about why learning more and more words may not be the best way to improve your English.
I know that sounds a little strange. When we learn a language, we usually think, I need more words.
Yes, 500 words, 1,000 words, 5,000 words. We keep collecting them like they are points in a game.
And sometimes learning vocabulary becomes the whole goal. You open an app, see 20 new words, study them, and feel very productive. Then 3 days later, someone speaks to you in English, and suddenly those 20 words disappear.
Exactly. You know you studied them, you remember seeing them, maybe you even remember where they were on the page.
But when you need one of those words in a real conversation, your brain says, "Sorry, I'm closed today." So today, we want to share a different idea. Stop trying to learn so many new words and start using the words you already know.
Before we explain that idea, here's a simple question for you to think about. How many English words do you understand but almost never use?
Think about that for a moment. Maybe you understand words like probably, instead, actually, comfortable, or different. When you hear these words in a movie or podcast, you understand them. But when you speak English, do you actually use them?
For many learners, the answer is no, and this is where we find an important difference between knowing a word and being able to use a word.
Jack, did you ever have this problem when you were learning another language?
Oh yes, I once had a notebook full of vocabulary. I was very proud of that notebook.
How many words were in it?
I don't know exactly, but there were many pages. Every page had new words, translations, little notes, and sometimes different colors.
Wow, you sound like a very serious student.
I looked like a serious student. That is not exactly the same thing.
Okay, fair enough. So what happened when you tried to have a conversation?
That was the problem. I could look at a word in my notebook and understand it, but during a conversation, I could not find it quickly enough.
So you had the word in your memory, but it was difficult to bring it out.
Exactly. It was like owning hundreds of books, but not knowing where any of them were.
I really like that example. Imagine that your vocabulary is a big room filled with boxes.
Every time you learn a new word, you put another box into the room.
But if you only keep adding boxes, the room becomes fuller and fuller.
But if you never open the boxes and use what is inside, having more boxes does not help very much.
This is why we want you to think differently about vocabulary. You probably know more English than you believe.
Especially if you can understand conversations like this one. You already have many useful words in your mind.
The problem may not be that you need hundreds of new words.
The problem may be that the words you already know are not active yet.
Let's explain that word active, because it is very useful for language learning.
An active word is a word that you can use naturally when you speak or write.
For example, maybe you know the word instead. If I say, I didn't take the bus, I walked instead, you understand the sentence.
But can you make your own sentence with instead without looking at a book?
Maybe you can say, I wanted coffee, but I ordered tea instead.
Or, I didn't watch TV last night, I read a book instead.
When you start making your own sentences, the word becomes more useful to you.
You are not only recognizing it anymore, you are training yourself to use it.
Now compare that with another situation. Imagine you learned the word enormous.
Enormous means very, very big.
You read it once, write the meaning in your notebook, and then move immediately to the next word.
Congratulations, you have met the word.
Yes, but meeting someone once does not mean you know that person well.
Exactly. Words are similar. You need to meet them again and again, but you also need to spend some time with them.
You need to hear the word, say it, put it in a sentence, and connect it to something real.
And this is where many learners make a simple mistake. They measure progress by the number of new words they study.
They say, "Today I learned 30 new words, so today was a great study day."
But 30 new words can be too much if tomorrow you cannot use any of them.
Imagine another learner who studies only 5 useful words.
But this learner says each word several times, makes different sentences, asks questions with the words, and uses them during the week.
After a few days, those 5 words begin to feel natural.
Which learner is making better progress?
In many situations, the second learner is building stronger English because the goal is not simply to recognize thousands of words.
The goal is to communicate.
And communication often happens with surprisingly simple vocabulary.
Think about your normal day in your first language. You probably do not use difficult words every 5 minutes.
You use the same useful words and expressions again and again.
You say things like, I think, I need, I want, I'm not sure, what happened, it depends, and let me check.
These expressions may look simple, but they can create hundreds of different conversations.
That is the secret. A useful word is not powerful because it looks advanced. It's powerful because you can use it in many situations.
Let's take a very simple word, get.
Oh, get is everywhere in English.
You can get home, get tired, get a message, get better, get ready, get a job, or get something from the store.
One small word, but it works very hard. It deserves a vacation.
And this shows why knowing how to use common words can help you more than collecting difficult vocabulary.
Instead of asking, how many new words can I learn today? Try asking, how many ways can I use the words I already know?
That question changes your practice completely.
Because now you are not only putting English into your brain, you are teaching your brain how to bring English out when you need it.
And that is exactly what you need when someone asks you a question and you have only a few seconds to answer.
You need familiar words that are ready to work for you, not hundreds of words hiding quietly in a notebook.
So, if we want the words we already know to become active, we need to do something very important with them. We need to reuse them.
Yes, and reuse means using the same word or expression many times in different situations instead of learning it once and forgetting about it.
This sounds simple, but it can completely change the way you practice English.
Let's imagine you choose one useful expression, I'm not sure.
Most learners probably understand this expression already, but understanding it is only the beginning.
Now you can practice using it in different conversations. Emma, ask me a question.
Okay. Jack, are you free tomorrow evening?
I'm not sure. I need to check my schedule.
Do you think it will rain tomorrow?
I'm not sure. The weather changes quickly here.
Is that new restaurant expensive?
I'm not sure. I haven't been there yet.
Look at that! You used exactly the same expression 3 times, but every situation was different.
And after using I'm not sure again and again, I don't need to translate it in my head anymore.
That is what we want. We want useful English to become automatic.
Automatic means you can use something quickly without thinking about every small part.
Think about saying thank you. If you have studied English for some time, you probably don't stop and translate those 2 words.
Someone helps you and thank you comes out naturally.
We want more of your English to feel like that.
And one good way to make this happen is what I like to call the 3-sentence practice.
That sounds very official, Jack. Did you invent a complicated language system?
Very complicated. You will need 3 pencils, 7 notebooks, and a special hat.
A special hat?
No, you only need 1 useful word or expression and 3 sentences.
Okay, that sounds much easier.
Let's choose the word probably. First, make 1 sentence about today.
I'll probably cook dinner at home tonight.
Great. Now make 1 sentence about tomorrow.
I'll probably go for a walk tomorrow morning.
And now make one sentence about another person.
My sister is probably at work right now.
Perfect. You took one word and connected it to 3 different ideas.
And you can do this aloud. You don't always need to write the sentences down.
That is important because many learners spend a lot of time reading and writing English, but very little time actually speaking it.
Your mouth needs practice too. Sometimes you know exactly what you want to say, but saying the sentence feels slow or uncomfortable.
So take words you already understand and say simple sentences with them while you are alone.
You can practice while making breakfast, cleaning your room, driving, or walking somewhere.
Just be careful if you practice on a crowded bus. Someone may think you are having a very interesting conversation with yourself.
But even that is okay. You are improving your English.
Another powerful method is to learn phrases instead of single words.
This is a big one. Sometimes learners see a word like decision and only memorize decision.
But in real English, it is much more useful to learn make a decision.
Then you can say, I need to make a decision.
Or it was difficult to make a decision.
Or have you made a decision yet?
Now the word is connected to a pattern, so it becomes easier to use naturally.
Let's try another one. Instead of only learning the word interested, learn interested in.
Then you can say, I'm interested in music.
She's interested in learning English.
Are you interested in photography?
This is much closer to the way we really use language.
Native speakers and confident English speakers do not build every sentence one word at a time like they are building a wall.
They have many small groups of words ready in their minds.
Things like, I don't think so. That sounds good. What do you mean? And it depends on the situation.
These groups of words can help you speak faster because you don't need to create everything from zero.
And there is another activity that works very well. Tell the same small story more than once.
Many learners think repetition is boring, so they always want a new topic.
New article, new video, new vocabulary list, new podcast. Everything has to be new.
But repetition is where a lot of learning happens.
Imagine you tell a simple story about your weekend. The first time, you may speak slowly.
You might say, on Saturday, I went to my friend's house.
You stop because you are searching for words.
Then you tell the same story again later.
This time you say, on Saturday, I went to my friend's house. We had lunch and watched a movie.
The second time is already smoother because your brain remembers some of the language.
Then you tell it a third time and add a little more detail.
On Saturday afternoon, I went to my friend's house. We made lunch together, talked for a while, and watched a funny movie.
You did not need 50 new words. You became better at using the English you already had.
And that feeling is important because learners sometimes believe fluency comes from knowing very advanced vocabulary.
But fluency is also about using familiar language smoothly, clearly, and with confidence.
You can have a very good conversation using simple English if you know how to connect your ideas.
Words like because, but, so, also, then, and maybe are simple, but they help your conversation flow.
For example, instead of saying, I stayed home, I was tired, you can connect the ideas.
I stayed home because I was tired.
Instead of saying, the cafe was busy, we found a table, you can say,
The cafe was busy, but we found a table.
These are not exciting new vocabulary words that people usually put on a big study list.
But they are extremely useful because they help you do something more important, express complete thoughts.
So when you practice, choose useful language from your real life. Think about the conversations you actually want to have.
If you often talk about work, practice sentences about work. If you travel, practice travel phrases. If you talk with friends, practice asking questions and sharing opinions.
Your vocabulary practice should connect to your life because those are the words and phrases you will have real reasons to use.
And every time you reuse them, say them out loud, connect them to phrases, and put them into your own stories, they become easier to find when a real conversation begins.
Now, there is one more problem we should talk about because many learners understand this idea but still feel nervous when they try to use familiar words in a real conversation.
Yes, they think, my English is too simple. I need better words if I want to sound intelligent.
But simple English is not bad English. If your sentence is clear, natural, and easy to understand, you are communicating successfully.
Exactly. Imagine I ask you, Emma, how was your weekend?
I could search my brain for impressive vocabulary and become completely silent for 10 seconds.
That would be a very dramatic answer.
Or I could simply say, it was really nice. I visited my parents, we had dinner together, and I relaxed at home on Sunday.
Nothing in that answer is difficult, but it sounds natural and gives me several ideas to continue the conversation.
You could ask what we had for dinner, where my parents live, or what I did on Sunday.
That is real communication. The purpose of vocabulary is to help you share ideas, not to impress people with difficult words.
Another problem is fear of making mistakes. Sometimes learners know a useful expression but avoid using it because they are not completely sure it is correct.
So they wait until they can speak perfectly.
And that perfect day never really arrives because speaking improves through speaking.
It is a little like saying, I will start exercising when I become strong.
That would be an interesting plan.
You become stronger by exercising, and you become more comfortable speaking English by speaking English.
Mistakes are also useful because they show you what needs more practice.
If you use a phrase incorrectly and later learn the correct form, you may remember it better because you have a real experience connected to it.
So, give yourself permission to use simple English, repeat familiar expressions, and make some mistakes.
Now, if you are wondering what your vocabulary practice could look like from today, let's make it very practical.
First, choose 5 useful words or phrases that you already understand but do not use very often.
Not 50, not 20, just 5.
They can be expressions like, I'm not sure, it depends, probably, instead of, and sounds good.
Then keep those same 5 expressions for several days.
This part is important. Don't replace them tomorrow because you found a new vocabulary video with 20 exciting words.
Keep with your 5. Give them some attention.
During the first day, make 3 personal sentences with each expression.
If your expression is, it depends, you might say, I sometimes walk to work, but it depends on the weather.
Or, do I drink coffee every morning? It depends on how tired I am.
Or, do I drink coffee every morning? It depends on how tired I am.
Great! 2 useful expressions in one simple answer.
Then try to notice those expressions while you listen to English.
You may hear them in podcasts, videos, movies, lessons, or conversations.
And something interesting happens when you start practicing a phrase. Suddenly, your brain is paying attention to it.
It was always there, but now your brain is paying attention to it.
Then try to use at least one of your expressions in a real conversation, if you have the opportunity.
And if you don't have someone to practice with, you can still speak to yourself.
Describe your day. Talk about your plans. Give your opinion about something you watched.
You can even ask yourself a question and answer it.
Jack, what are you doing tonight?
Wait, you're Jack.
Oh, right. This conversation with myself is already becoming confusing.
But the practice really can be that simple. The important thing is to produce English, not only receive it.
Receive means English comes into your mind through reading and listening.
And produce means you create English yourself through speaking or writing.
You need both. Listening gives you examples of natural English, and speaking teaches you how to use those examples yourself.
Before we finish, let's review some useful words and expressions from today's conversation.
The first word is active. Active vocabulary means words that you can actually use when you speak or write.
The next word is automatic. If something becomes automatic, you can do it easily without thinking about every little step.
We also used reuse.
To reuse something means to use it again.
So instead of always searching for new vocabulary, reuse useful vocabulary that you already know.
Another important word is familiar. Something familiar is something you already know or recognize.
Familiar words can become powerful when you practice using them in many different situations.
And we talked about express. To express an idea means to communicate or show what you think or feel.
Remember, the purpose of English is not to know the longest vocabulary list. It is to express yourself and understand other people.
So here is a small challenge you can try today.
Choose one English expression that you understand but almost never use.
Say it aloud and make 3 sentences about your own life.
Then tomorrow, use the same expression again in 3 different sentences.
Keep doing that until the expression starts to feel comfortable and easy.
You may be surprised by how much your speaking changes when you stop chasing new words all the time.
Your English can become faster because familiar phrases are easier to find.
It can become more natural because you are practicing complete expressions, not only individual words.
And most importantly, you can become more confident because you begin to see how much English you can already use.
If you want to practice right now, write one sentence in the comments using a word or expression you already know.
It does not need to be advanced. A clear, simple sentence is perfect.
You can also tell us, one expression I want to use more is, and complete the sentence with your own answer.
Reading other learners' answers can also give you new examples of how familiar English works in real situations.
And when you listen to this episode again, try something different. Don't only listen.
Pause after some of our sentences and repeat them aloud.
Copy the rhythm, pronunciation, and the way the words connect.
This is often called shadowing, and it is a simple way to train your speaking while you listen.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today on Speak English for Beginners.
We hope you remember one simple message from this episode.
You probably don't need another huge list of vocabulary today.
Take the English you already know and make it stronger.
Use it in sentences. Ask questions with it. Say it aloud. Repeat it in different situations.
A small number of words that you can really use is more valuable than a huge number of words that you only recognize.
Keep listening, keep speaking, and give yourself time to improve step by step.
Thanks for learning with Emma and me today. Keep using the English you already have, and we'll see you again soon on Speak English for Beginners.